Hello and welcome to Real TV. I'm Brian Sikapon.
And I'm Corey Panko.
For you is, do you like if the guy makes the first move?
Yeah, I definitely do. Especially me, I'm really shy, so it's a lot more comfortable for me if a guy makes the first move, but I think it's a true sign of that they really are interested in you.
Good answer. I'm a little shy myself too, so I feel you. Do you like if the girl makes the first move?
Yeah, half of the guys over here in Penn State are pretty damn.
Here are some of the top-ish stories from the year so far. James and the Giant Peach. It's a modern take on the classic Japanese folklore called Momotaro. Dream Rights Theater in York, PA tried their hand at producing a stage version. Mike Gilbert, Rob Breck, the Super Bowl was last night. Everyone... I love it. 28 in the last year.
I wrote and directed Titanic in the last 2 months. You heard it here first. I don't know if this is copyright infringement or just lying.
Editor Rob, that.
This is PSN News. It's Wednesday, April 26th. We have all you need to know about change.
But moving forward, once again, they were free of the double headers until Friday.
Going up. Loki, you're just standing there all day. You watch the sun come up. You watch the sun like stay in the sky. You watch the sun.
Then you're a real one, and you're really for the ladies out here. But let's see who can actually do this test.
One. My future husband, David.
Is this...
My name is Sophia Montani, and I'm the news producer for PSN News.
So for the pre-production process for PSN News, me and the news producer, Sophia, we sent out emails to our anchors with different story ideas. Our sports and entertainment anchors get to choose their own stories, but we assign news stories to our news anchors. So we send that out 2 days before filming, and our anchors write wonderful scripts that Sophia gets in and edits, and then we use Inception to put together a rundown and script for all of our executive team and all of our anchors to see and work with. The pre-production process is honestly one of my favorites. I really like putting the logistics together for a show. So organizing and setting times and dates like that, I really enjoy.
So as for the whole planning for PSN News, there's a lot involved before the show, during the show, and after the show. So for me as the news producer, I'm the one that's finding the news stories for our anchors for 2 of our bi-weekly shows that are half-hour long that are live, which is super exciting. So I'm the one, I find about 4 local stories and 4 national stories that are used in the show, and then I send those out to our executive producer, who then sends it to our anchors. And then when it's the day of the show is when I work on making the script. When I work on the script, I just edit everybody's stories from news, sports, entertainment, interview, everything like that. Just edit everybody's stories to make sure they're good to be read on the air, consolidate the stories into a script, and then make the rundown for the show. So that's all the pre-production planning. During the actual show, my role is a little bit more like tuned down. I basically just help out, make sure like everything's in the prompter, everything's set up, ready to go for the actual physical show. And then when the show's actually airing, I just make sure everybody's reading what they're supposed to and help sort out any issues if they ever come up, which thankfully we have such a great crew that's never really an issue.
We have 2 anchors every show. We have sports, entertainment, weather, reporter and interview anchors, really just about everything you want in a kind of real newscast, really getting the opportunity to get experience both in here in the studio and kind of out in the production room, and a lot of great roles that people can get involved in, and you really get hands-on experience from the second you join PSN News, and I've loved every second of it.
It's really a full team effort. We have a lot of people that really have their hand into putting together this show. I'm the director, Emily's producer, Sophia's the news producer, she's doing scripts. We have Jules, who's the associate producer dealing with field reporters. Savannah, Florida, like I could just go on and on with all the people we have and all the different positions that they do. I'll edit the show and post it on YouTube on Tuesdays. Wednesday we have our second show that I have to make graphics for, and then I'll edit that on Thursday. But there's so much, like, that's just what I do. There's so much other stuff going on from all our other execs, and we really have a great team that works together, and we each do a good part to put this show together.
You gain such professional experience in the process, being a part of something that's kind of bigger than yourself and being involved with all the moving parts of what makes a show and getting to learn all about the media industry in the process is a really great opportunity, and I've been so grateful to be a part of it, and I wouldn't trade that experience for anything else.
My role within Nittany Talk, I am the director of Nittany Talk. I've been the director since January of 2023. Before then, I was primarily the technical director from March of 2022 up until December of 2022. As the director, my creative direction within Nittany Talk is to make sure we have a good variety of shots with purpose. I've worked heavily alongside James Dugan, who is the advisor for Penn State Network Television, and he's taught me a lot about all the different camera possibilities. There are over-the-shoulder shots, wide shots, two shots. There are all sorts of different shots that you can incorporate into your show to make it more breathtaking.
What is the production process like?
Yeah, so we have our prep meetings for our production. We start with our pre-production, if you will. So we have prep meetings on Mondays. We started to do them in person now. And that's where, you know, we give tips and tricks to everybody that comes in, whether you're a talent or studio crew. And then from there, we decide, you know, what type of segments people want to do. We want them to come in with all different types of ideas. So their creative juices, if you will, are flowing. So once we do that, we then come into this beautiful studio here on Tuesdays from 6:30 to 8:30, and we record right in here. And then we have an editing team that does an absolutely incredible job putting together all the segments, and then we post them onto YouTube. So I actually love, we just started letting talent make their own scripts, and I love reading their scripts and how their brain works compared to maybe mine, you know, because it's so different how other people think of certain topics, and just being able to see other people's creativity when it comes to that, but then also being able to incorporate my own at the same time and kind of weave it in, I think it creates something really awesome. As long as you're pumped about it, excited about it, you're so more than welcome to come and be on. And also, if you're not an on-the-air personality, you can absolutely be behind the camera and behind the scenes, as we can always use help at that too.
So since we are a very interactive show, we have a consistent production process through pre-production to post-production. So pre-production, what we used to have them on Zoom, and we had where we go over topics, we go over script reads, we go over like what the production schedule will be like and that kind of thing.
On my end, I usually collaborate with my technical director, Scott, on ensuring that everyone in the studio is ready and prepared for what we're about to throw to them. I compile an extensive shot list every Sunday or Monday, depending on like how much workload I have. I compile the shot list and I send it out to Scott to look over. I usually include some questions in the shot lists for him to look over technical details, and once we're at the meeting, we essentially do a final draft of the shot list to send out for the next day. And by the time production goes along, all of our planning is ready to go into action.
Now we have 4 to 5 segments in our show. We just need to be as communicative and optimized as well, if that makes more sense. And then lastly is post-production, and that's very creative, I would say. Our post-production division is a very creative bunch. We have full show editors, YouTube editors, and post-production assistants, and just anyone else that wants to join. And we edit packages, we do social media stuff, and we also edit the show. And they do such a great job. Even just like yesterday with Colin Lesher, who is a full show editor, but also a floor manager, he was just telling me, he's like, Simone, the sand's down. Like, I can't get the episode. And I was like, what? And that was Wednesday. And then Thursday, he's like, no, cancel down. I can't get the episode. And he eventually did get the episode up to me and exported, I would say around 8:39 p.m. last night, Thursday as of now. And that's just kind of one of the ways our production process is. It's very unpredictable, but along the way, we just collectively work as a group to make sure that we get everything out on time and just put on a show each week.
Said Marisang. I am part of Culture Central. I am their assistant producer, also our assistant director, and I also hop on talent. Well, my favorite part of working with Culture Central is basically just the creative freedom that we have. We have made it a big point to just kind of represent culture in general. So we do a lot of different things, and I think the variety is the fun part. So what I enjoy from like the producer side is getting together, and just our e-board meetings themselves are fun because we are brainstorming all these ideas and we are trying to get out there in the community. So I think that's my favorite part, just seeing how it's growing and how we have like so much creative freedom, and we're just trying to like target so many different things. Our production process, we're new, so we're still kind of figuring it out, but right now we've been doing a really good job with organizing ourselves and setting some structure. So we are having pre-production meetings prior to shooting the day before. Then we shoot on Wednesdays, and when we come in, again, we're new, so we're still figuring things out. So it's a process of getting everybody together. We always have somebody new that wants to learn a different position or needs training, so we take the time out to show them that. Everybody's super enthusiastic about what they're doing, so they come in with really good energy. It's like we have a family in here. So we shoot our show, and then we have post-production right after the shooting, let them know what worked, what didn't work, what we need to improve on to become a more efficient show and have more efficient shooting days. And then we have our e-board meetings as well, where we, like I said, we brainstorm together, our e-board gets together, and we brainstorm what we want to do for the month, the following month, what orgs we want to reach out to, and things like that. So what makes our show so special and different is that, obviously, as everybody knows, this is a PWI, predominantly white institution, and so our community is very, very small in terms of just the minority community, whether that be Black, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, Indigenous, whatever it is. And so we are trying to create a space where we can highlight all of that, even with just putting out playlists from different cultures, things like that. So that's what stands out about our show, that we're a little bit of everything. We have sports, we have news, we have feature stories, but we also do things outside of the studio where we have playlists highlighting different cultures. So we actually just had a release party today. We dropped our playlist in collaboration with the African Student Association. And so, yeah, I think that's what makes it special, just the culture that we have.
name is Ben Wasserman. My role within Basketball Today is I am the senior talent, so I am on screen about 3 to 4 shows. We have 4 shows a week, so I'm usually on screen at least 2 to 3. I think Justin, the founder, would characterize me as like the personality, so I would...
Oh man, Sharps, what you doing tonight? Partying, you know? Huh?
He's like looking through
The Bucks and the Sharps, you know nobody's watching that game, huh?
I'll admit I'm a little crazy, but that is my role, to make people laugh and to produce good short-term content clips.
Week before, we have a meeting on Discord at 4 p.m. and we kind of go over assignments and our vision for that week and go over the week before as well. And then that weekend, I meet with the executive producers. We plan out the staffing sheet for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then on the day of, in the morning, the show writer and the graphic designer collaborate to make the show outline, notes, and the slides that we pull up, and the on-screen overlays. And then, let's say an hour or 2 before, just to make sure we're not missing any news, the on-screen host and analyst will go through the show notes, make sure they're prepared. We come on set, we get mic'd up, and we just go. I'd say our show is pretty unique. I mean, we're pretty much like free-flowing, not really scripted. We don't use teleprompters. We kind of go for a podcast style, lighthearted show, you know, to fit what Gen Z is looking for. Something you'd see on Twitch or TikTok Live, Instagram Live. You know, talking with your community and just having conversations, not really going off of a script. I'd say we're pretty unique in that sense. Also, I kind of set no rules, just like don't swear and have fun. And so we kind of allow for as much creative freedom as possible, and I think it's paid off so far. Basketball Today Live is kind of an extension from the Basketball Today brand that I've been kind of building over the past 7 months through TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram videos. And kind of after doing some customer discovery, I'm getting entrepreneurial here, we kind of figured out Gen Z loves community, Discord, so how can we integrate that? And we were like, let's do live, let's try that out. And then I honestly don't remember who introduced me to PSNtv or the studio, but after meeting with them, it was kind of a no-brainer, and everyone seemed really excited about it. And then, you know, 2 months later, we're doing it 4 nights a week.
I mean, it's basically in our motto, we're Gen Z's ESPN. You know, we're really, we bring sports to a really fun and, you know, almost childish sort of thing that anybody can really enjoy. You know, our show really caters to people who are more casual fans of the NBA, and, you know, people can just enjoy, you know, all the videos we're doing, whether you're a fan of basketball or not. And I think that's what makes it really special. Also, you know, we're a family. You know, everything you see on camera, it's the exact same off camera. Nobody fakes it. We all just, you know, take a lot of pride in what we do, and we're all really close friends, which makes the process a whole lot easier. And everybody treats this, you know, as if it was the size of ESPN. Like, every single day we're communicating, every single day we're working hard. Even if we had 0 followers, I know we'd still be the same way. That's something that Justin instilled in us. It's something that we have to carry on with ourselves, you know, to make sure that we're treating the program and the organization with as much respect as, you know, Justin built it upon. And yeah, we all are working for the common goal, and, you know, it's not gonna happen, you know, just by chance, so we gotta put in the hard work.
We have a great vision, we have a long-term vision. So we do the shows, we create content from the shows, we make Instagram posts. So the vision, not only short-term within the semester, but also long-term in what we wanna do, what, you know, the team wants to do with Basketball Today, and try to expand it as much as possible is what excites myself, and I believe that's what excites the rest of the team, and that's why they come here 4 days a week. Producing Basketball Today starts from the morning, so the writers make the script and then they share it on Discord. We have about 60 members on the Discord. Please join if you're interested. I would highly recommend it. There's memes, there's conversations, there's a whole lot of things that's great for not only basketball fans, but sports fans as a whole. And then we arrive here, or at least I arrive here at about 5 o'clock. I sit outside, we talk, we look over the script, look over the pictures, the Canvas slides, so we are all on the same page, which I think really helps throughout the show, so people can be fully prepared, either have funny questions, have funny remarks, or overall just have good energy so that when we come in here, we are ready to roll. We usually come in here at about 5:30, get set up, I do my thing, everybody else does their thing, and then the goal every day is to start rolling at 5:50 and end right about 6:30, a little bit before. So post-production, we get the clip off of YouTube, so the full stream is on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, so that's where the full stream is. And then we have a few different ways to get more clips from that. One is to split up the segments, so if we have like 3 30-minute segments, or 3 10-minute segments, excuse me. We could post those 3 individually, or we can take funny clips, which could be 30 to a minute seconds long, edit it, put B-roll behind it, put captions on it, and those is what really is the driver for the show. I would say we are not die-hard basketball fans, at least we don't try to be, but we try to make it very entertaining for like the casual basketball fan that maybe doesn't know how tall Kevin Durant is, but knows that Kevin Durant is good and Kevin Durant can be talked about.
My name is Emily Edwards, and I am one of 4 producers for Penn State Sports Night. So coming into Penn State, I knew I wanted to end up in the world of sports media. I kind of thought I wanted to do broadcasts, so when I was seeing more emails from Bob Martin, I heard about Penn State Sports Night, and I heard about it through my Accepted Students Day as well. So I was looking for it the minute I stepped on campus. So my freshman year, I went multiple times as studio crew as well as on air, and I kind of started realizing I love behind the scenes. I like putting together the process rather than being the face of the process. So that kind of drew me, knowing that you had so much room for creativity in the show and in the club, that I just thought it was a really cool thing. And the club's very tight-knit. Everyone knows each other and everyone's fond of each other, and I really do think that's an awesome environment to be around. So pre-production for Sports Night, we have a prep session every Sunday night before our Monday show. So members come Sunday to Willard at 5:30. They pitch ideas for segments. People decide to hop on the segments. We typically do 6 segments if we are not doing our beat reporter show. So you can come in, pitch your idea for a segment. Everyone hops on, and then studio crew fills out where they want to go for the segments.
You don't have to pay any dues. You don't have to show up every week. You literally come and go as you want. If you show up to prep, you sign up to either be on air or behind the scenes, and then we film on Mondays. This year it's 8:30 to 10:30, and then on Tuesdays we edit, and then the producers will either post our segments either Tuesday night or Wednesday, and also put up the socials.
As long as you got some fun ideas and as long as you want to talk about sports, you're always more than welcome to come here. And also if you want to do behind the scenes stuff. We love helping out with behind the scenes as well. Obviously I'm more talent based, if you will, but behind the scenes is awesome, man. Like it's such a great way for you guys to learn and set yourself apart from others, maybe going into this field as well, being able to do both. But this is a fun time, you know. I love sports, and if you know, talking about sports, the fact that it could be a profession for me is incredible. So I know there's a ton of other people that feel that way, and I hope that they can find joy in it like I do.
I would say something that makes our show unique is that we're laid back in the sense that we don't put pressure on you to do anything that you don't want to do, but at the same time, we can push you to give your best content.
Be able to get outside and meet new people, I was like, sign me up ASAP. And that was the awesome part. I was able to just shadow one show, and then the next week I was on. That was awesome.
What makes our show different from, you know, other sports shows or just other shows across campus is that we create an environment for creativity around the entirety of sports. You don't have to be specific to one topic. And you can host a segment, you can analyze a segment, you can be behind the scenes for a segment, and it's as much as you want.
Defensive style of play that they played against Michigan at home and at Pagula, and then the following week on the road against Minnesota, where they were able to get a win in both.
I'd say what I like about my position is being able to communicate and engage with so many great students, so many talented students, and hear about their vision and their dreams for just life and what they want to get out of Penn State, and kind of helping that come to fruition, as well as meeting with them weekly, creating great connections and friendships throughout the process, and doing fun stuff outside of Basketball Today live with them. Just been a lot of fun.
It really allowed me to see, you know, what I was built to do. You know, it definitely opened my eyes to a new career position. I remember I saw an email at 12 a.m. the first week of school, and it said basketball and social media, and I applied by 12:08. It was really cool to, you know, I love my position. It's really fun to be able to, you know, help the guys out, and, you know, it always is so fulfilling when they say, yo, the tip you gave me made that video go viral, or I've seen like some ongoing tips that I've given them that they've used since I started using them or started giving them to them. So it means a lot that they really, you know, value how hard I work, and, you know, they really trust me. They put a ton of trust in me that I'm giving them the right information, because I can give them fake information, like they wouldn't even know. But I mean, it's nice that they respect and they trust what I'm giving to them.
What do I love about being senior talent is that I can be myself, and I can work with other people, and I get the ability every day to make people laugh, and that's what I love. I like seeing people smile.
I love my position at Sports Night. I think it's just, you're working with so many great people, and I think I'm lucky to be here. And the other producers are just some of the most talented people in this school. So I really do see myself lucky to be here working with them.
The thing I like most about my position is Sports Night has such a good camaraderie. I feel like we work together so well. We're very professional, but we have fun while doing it. So I love that people are very comfortable and so easily like joke around with me, but also ask me for help as a producer. And like, I want to be your friend, I want to have fun with you, but I also want to put out the best content we can. So finding a happy medium is a little bit challenging at times, especially when filming and you want to have a good time, but you want to be professional. But that's one of the best things about it. It's just everyone's always got a smile on their face.
I love the creative process. I mean, that's what makes me want to be a producer when I go into the media industry. And this show kind of solidified that I want to be a producer, because I don't mean to sound like obnoxious, I would say, but I'm good at producing. I'm really good at it. It's both business and it's both media, and I'm also a business student as well as a comm student, so it's a perfect combination for me.
What I love most about directing is that kind of the pressure's really on me, and I really like challenging myself, because when we go live, you can't really make mistakes or else they're seen. So just kind of like getting into that zone and making sure everything's okay.
Some challenges would just be like people really understanding our show and what we're trying to do, because we did come out with a lot of crazy ideas. We came out with like not the world of experience, but we went along and learned as much as we could along the way. And I don't know, Eric, what else do you want to say?
Yeah, no, I feel like we came up with a lot of ambition, a lot of wacky ideas that we were just reminiscing. We're like, our first episode, we were like, we're gonna get the president to come, and we're gonna really ambitious.
So something that's a little bit tough with the way that we do our shows is we send out our stories. I send stories for the following week, like the week in advance. So it's kind of hard finding stories which will be timely and applicable at the time of the show being aired. So for example, I sent out the shows for Monday today. So obviously a lot of news is going on every single day, and you never know what's going to change. So you kind of have to be adaptable in that regard.
I'd say the biggest challenge so far has been time. And so I had to bring in a couple more executive producers to help with that. Just with communicating with the team and making sure they're appreciated, you know, to maximize retention, and just, you know, to thank them for their time to come out and, you know, help with the vision, as well as outreach. Finding new people to bring in can be tricky, but for the most part, it's been not super challenging.
Some of the challenges I have faced in my position as a director for Nittany Talk is learning to be assertive. It is a very scary and intimidating environment being inside the control room studio, but it's important that everyone pulls their weight equally and carries out their jobs to the best of their abilities.
The challenges that I face in my position are varied. Since I'm the executive producer of Nittany Talk, I'm basically the pinpoint of everything that goes on within the show. So just one example of a challenge is just, I would say boundaries. Because in the studio, especially studio crew, we have a new crew and talent each week. Everyone needs everyone's help, and sometimes Everyone is calling to me, asking me for things and that kind of thing. And I love that. I love helping people. It's just sometimes it feels like I'm being picked apart. But in a good way, because it's like I'm being picked apart for a reason. It's kind of like like a mom, like literally like taking apart a worm, giving it to her kids. I feel like that's kind of me.
Some of the challenges I've faced as executive producer is, you know, just making the hard and tough decisions. We're all working with other students, some older than me, some younger than me, some in my classes. So it's hard making some of the tough cuts or tough no's or tough yeses sometimes. And I used to struggle with, I don't want to hurt someone's feelings, and then I realized the show goes on, like it must go on, so you have to make the tough cuts and decisions just for the benefit of the show.
Dream show guest. I love this question.
That's a great question.
Oh, that's so tough. Man.
There's 3 of them. 1, LeBron James. I would absolutely love to have LeBron James across from me, chirp him a little bit, maybe post him up. That would be awesome.
Dream show guest. I feel like Stephen A. Smith would be really funny. He's not a player, but just him as a host.
2, Stephen A. Smith. I mean, Stephen A. Smith is the king of basketball and sports media.
Like Giannis, LeBron, all the big names, you know.
I'd love Joel Embiid or LeBron James, Steph Curry, I don't know. Any NBA player would be great.
And then 3, Pat McAfee, because he might be the coolest guy on the internet.
Honestly, I don't think it's too far out of the picture. You know, we integrate our Discord well. We might be able to make that happen down the line. I mean, yeah, who knows?
I would probably have Pat McAfee on our show because he's one of the a host of his own show. I would just love to pick his brain on how to really operate a show, basically, because he's like the main host. How does he do it? How does he keep audiences engaged? How does he work? What type of equipment does he use? You know, because maybe that could be super useful to us as a show.
Or live.
Okay, if we're talking like very far-fetched, I would have to say Oprah Winfrey. I love Oprah. Everyone who knows me knows that Oprah is my girl.
Oprah.
Right?
Yeah.
I did so many projects on her.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I did one too when I was younger.
I've always liked Mike Greenberg, who is the host for Get Up, a show on ESPN that runs at 8 o'clock Monday through Friday. When I work over the summer, I work in a CVS warehouse, and it's pretty boring, so I just listen to music. But then I got tired of my music, so I would just listen to podcasts, and I'd listen to his podcast every day.
One thing people should know about our show is that we don't care. If you sign up, we will put you on. Like, there's no interviews, nothing. We let people on screen that have no experience before. We had one show where it was people that have never been on the screen before, like business students, engineering students that have no on-screen presence before. And we love it. We're super inclusive. Anyone can come, anyone can sign up. We want to have everyone.
And if you like to be funny, if you like basketball, this is the place for you. Basketball today, there's always laughter, there's always positive energy, and there's always hardworking, like-minded individuals being with each other, and that is the success right there.
I would say that something that they should know is that we are expanding and growing each and every day. I mean, the ideas of making packages and producing content like that, if you said that to me last year, I would have laughed in your face, you know, because there was no way that would have happened for us. And yet, here we are now going to men's basketball, women's basketball, men's lacrosse, men's hockey, women, all of these sports, and producing that exact content that I thought wasn't possible. So as long as everybody knows that we're gonna keep getting better each and every day, they'll keep tuning in.
We're gonna find a space for you. You don't have to fit into this certain mold. We're gonna find something for you here. And I think that's really like what makes our show kind of unique in that sense.
I absolutely 1000% agree. The amount of trust that I think we have in each other and that Jaden and Eric have in us is so important and such a big part of our show.
The thing that makes Nittany Talk different and special from other shows is how intimate of an environment it is. I generally parallel it to my experience in high school. I went to a very small school growing up, So coming to Penn State, it can be a very big and intimidating school. But with Nittany Talk, it's like you're in a family, honestly. You really get to know not only your execs, but also the new members. The people who stick around make it worthwhile.
Something that makes our show unique was that we went live, but other shows are starting to go live, which I think is awesome. Other shows are kind of more like specific in the fact that they kind of do like one thing. News is kind of, they have everything. They have a little entertainment anchor, they have a sports anchor, they have an interview with someone new each week, or we have 2 shows, so twice a week. We send field reporters out and do some packages, and then of course your local and national news. So I would say we hit kind of like every little topic that I think like we have something for everybody. We don't do just sports, we don't do just news, we don't do just entertainment, we have something for everybody.
My fondest memory of basketball today has probably got to be the dry run. I came in a week before, actually that Monday, shadowed sports night. And I was like, how am I going to get 20 people to do this random show with me that has no credibility whatsoever? And sent a couple job postings to Bob Martin, reached out to my network, and that Thursday we had like 25 people come out, 3 cohorts. PSNtv helped a ton. Olivia, Simone brought in a bunch of people. And it was a lot of fun, and everyone loved it, and everyone stayed. And since then, it's been great.
Yeah, my favorite moment was the guest speaker with Orlina, and just in general fan time. Actually, can I include one of my very favorite moments? Okay, so we do little TikToks during our production time, and Scott over here joined one of our TikToks. And I will say that is my favorite moment ever. I will rewatch that TikTok and always crack up at the whole thing.
Probably, honestly, during my freshman year, I have some of my fondest memories with PSN News. So my freshman year was during 2020 with like COVID and everything. So it kind of affected how often you could come into the studio, but it was always like such a highlight for me because it was like the one thing you could do on campus was come into the studio and work all the cameras and stuff like that. So that's where I got to meet some of the people that I'm still friends with now my junior year, and I've just been able to, you know, learned a lot of skills from them that I'm applying now, and I just really got to learn more about like news and like broadcast news and why I like it and why I continue to do it.
One that's like really special to me that a lot of our members actually don't know is I and the 3 other producers that I'm with, we all got together and we talked about doing this new show idea where we would be able to go to Penn State live events and get credentials, film them, and create our own show. So I was the one that had to send out the emails and talk with all of them. And just seeing the responses back from all the SIDs just saying, yes, we want you to come, you know, please come, film this, you know, we'll give you as many credentials as you want, was so fulfilling and like just really awesome for the fact of I know what it was like 2 years ago when I joined Sports Night, and it's grown at a tremendous rate and something I can't even imagine that it's gotten to.
One of my fondest memories working with Nittany Talk actually came from one of their first episodes. I was a part of Nittany Talk since the very beginning, which is something I'm very honored to say. One of our first shows, I actually interviewed Professor Kevin Hagopian. We talked about the current state of cinema as well as some of our favorite movies and really where Hollywood's going to evolve. And this was during a time where I wasn't fully entrenched in the technological process of Nittany Talk. So it was really fun early on getting to share kind of that experience both inside the studio but also in front of the camera. It was really cool getting to be an on-air talent during the show's first season.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely going to be a tough weekend against Minnesota, but not impossible. I think the bye week is going to be super helpful for this team. They definitely...
Coming to Penn State, it can be a very big and intimidating school, but with Nittany Talk, it's like you're in a family, honestly. You really get to know not only your execs, but also the new members. The people who stick around make it worthwhile.
I always liked being able to go on to shows and be able to kind of help other people. And Nittany Talk being such a up-and-coming show, it gave me like such a great opportunity to do that. And once I saw that I can do that, I joined right away.
You could do anything within the show. Like, the sky is the limit with the show. I mean, if that was our slogan, that would be it.
Basketball today is special because we are all super driven. We have the same people come in here 4 days a week. We have a team of, about 20 people who are here every day and driven to want to be the best and driven to make it better every day.
And I'm not a comp student, but they kind of welcome me with open arms. And I think it's really special. The big cameras, the lights, the microphones, it's like always like a rush.
I love how everybody really, they put in their time and effort, most of the time for no pay or anything like that. They put in a tremendous amount of time just because they're passionate about it and they want to do it to fuel their future and also to, inspire people and stuff like that. And I think that's really special.
This is exactly what you're going to be doing if you choose to do this as a career outside. So it's just amazing to gain this experience and feel like, you know what? I'm actually doing what my career is and I am having fun. I'm realizing that this is what I want to do. So I think that's the exciting part, the opportunity that it gives people.
It's an intense professional environment and, we're learning so many different things.
Yeah, we're very collaborative. I think that's something that people don't understand too.
Yeah.
Like, we want to help them create a portfolio that once they leave here, they can get a job, they can get something. They can leave here with like, oh yeah, I worked on the football team, but now I did a music video, now I did a cooking segment, now I did this, now I did that. And they have it to show, it's proof,
Everything. I mean, truly, I love everything about being a producer for Sports Night. Just being able to help anybody that wants it, whether it's editing or being on air, or even being behind the scenes, helping people learn how to operate the cameras here, or, what audio looks like.
You could kind of come to Sports Night, not do a lot, be a part of it, but you could also go on air and keep asking producers, how do I get better, how do I get better? We give out an eval every year, but you could also set up a personal eval.
Sports Night needed to be one of my priorities because I love being here and I love the people here and I love learning every time I come in. I think it's a really great learning environment as well as a place to meet people in the college with similar interests.
Any sort of production role that you want to try, you have the opportunity to try with PSN News. So I think it's just the realm of options you have. It's just so unique compared to any other club.
I think it's just so great that you have people that aren't even broadcast majors, that we have like advertising majors as well, or marketing majors that come in and just do it for fun.
The space that we have here to provide different students with opportunities. So we have basketball today for sports, Sports Night, the Portes. If you're interested in more interviews and roundtable talks, we have Knit Me Talk. And it's just a lot of spaces for students to do things that they really like here.
I love how every PSNtv show has its own theme. We're under such a big network, but we cover everything, whether it's news with PSN News, Sports Night with sports, obviously. But then you have Asking Penn State, which is just such a creative idea to incorporate science and things like that. And Culture Central is brand new, but they're bringing in a whole new audience. I think that's the biggest thing, is everybody's bringing in so many eyes to just the overall network that not a lot of companies or especially student-run networks have.
And this was a year that a lot of shows came up and a lot of growth has come. So we love the success, we love the growth of it, and we're here to support anyone.
What excites me about the other Penn State Network TV shows is just how professional they are. And I see a lot of great talent and a lot of hardworking people every day. And I think a lot of people who work on the PSN shows right now have a very bright future. I'm excited to see what they do. And it is just an amazing production every day.
Last year, when our seniors had their last show, almost all of them cried, and it was just such a touching moment, because when I go back and I joined the club, my freshman year, we were all in Innovation Park. I took the red link to Innovation Park. It stunk. And just to see that club grow so much and see how they grew it. There were 4 girls in Sports Night when we first started. So just to see that big group leave, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a senior with not a lot of other people. And it was just so sad, but it also was, it was bittersweet, because I wasn't happy they were leaving, but just to see how much the club grew and now they leave and kind of pass on the torch, it was just a very somber moment for me.
Just the creativity and the thought that goes into all the other shows just this year alone, we've had so many new shows come up of all sorts of different topics, and people have just been so driven and so excited to be sharing more about the topics that they're interested in. So it's been great to see how they compose their shows, how they visually want to represent their shows, how they go about doing it. Just seeing them build something from the ground up has been such a great opportunity to see everything that they've been a part of. I'm just very excited to see what kind of coverage they do in the future, as well as what they do in their professional careers.
I'd say personally what I like about PSNtv is, well, I've always had a passion for content, film, TV, media, especially live. And so when PSNtv came around, I didn't really know the studio existed as a business student or this club, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. I'd love to get involved. And I'm not a comp student, but you know, they kind of welcome me with open arms. And I think it's really special. The big cameras, the lights, the microphones, it's like always like a rush to be in here, to be on screen, to be behind the scenes, directing, seeing 20 people come out all to work and create one masterpiece creative project. I think that's so special.
Question I want to know. What's your favorite weird food combination? Like two things that should not go together that you just put together.
Favorite food is pizza. Nothing beats a good New York style pizza. I know you New Haven, Connecticut people would disagree, but I'm from Jersey and nothing beats a good Jersey New York slice.
I used to dip my Oreos in orange juice. Okay. Jeremy and Sydney just keep looking at me like that. When you are out of milk, when water isn't available, you'd use orange juice. Do not look at me like that. I swear to God, do not look at me like that.
Weird food combination.
This probably isn't the answer you're looking for, but my weirdest food combination is penne pasta and nothing. Just by itself. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, confession. When I was little, I used to love, I don't know if y'all know like the green like saltine like cracker thing, like the big ones. I stick those and I dip them in like apple juice. It was good. It goes down together.
Okay, I guess.
Just beat it to the punch.
I don't know, I would probably have to say, this isn't something I came up with. I had a friend in middle school who really liked Frosties from Wendy's with the fries and just dipping it in there. So like after hearing that, I'm like, okay, well, might as well. So I tried it, and I mean, I never tried it again, but you know, it was worth a try.
We're picky.
My favorite food? Oh, that's a great question. I'd probably say, when I get asked this question, I usually say chicken because it's so versatile, you know? It can be like, I don't know, you just can make it a lot of different ways, grilled, baked, breaded, all sorts of different things you can eat with it. So I think it's a good thing, yeah.
Do you have like a weird combination that you like? Like food that you like?
Yeah. Barbecue chips and mini marshmallows. Don't knock it till you try it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Don't knock it till you try it. It's pretty good.
All right, I guess this is okay. So weird food combination. I've not had this in years, but when I was younger, I used to like to put syrup on my eggs. I thought that was really good when I was younger. I have not done that in a while though, but I used to really like it.